Yes, I'm drinking tea in July, but it is under 70 degrees today, so I'm taking advantage of the opportunity. So we are halfway through the year, which is bonkers. And because we're at the halfway point, I decided to rewatch my 2020 retrospective video from New Year's and see what goals and stuff I laid out for myself in that video that I actually managed to do. Well, first of all, it wasn't a goal that I laid out, but I gotta say my lighting situation is much more flattering than it was back then. I have grown as a YouTuber with just a simple Amazon purchase of actual lighting. Now as for the goals that I've actually accomplished, I did not actually accomplish all that many, which, is pretty on brand. I have not figured out the sleeve situation on my Queenie Goldstein dress. I haven't really finished that many projects, but I have finished some, and that is something. I have started on the organization of my sewing room. I got some cube shelves and have gone through all of my fabric, got rid of so much scrap stuff that was just completely unusable, and I used comic book boards and pretty much made fabric bolts of all of my remnants of fabric and put them on the shelves, and it is beautiful and so much more accessible and looks nice, which is more than could be said for the box situation I had before. I also have organized my patterns because I used to have them all just shoved in some drawers in one of those plastic drawer slidey rolly things. I don't know what they're called. But anyway, I had just multiple drawers just shoved full of patterns, and I could not find anything and things were getting damaged. So I got some magazine holders and from Amazon, and I put them in those and organized them by type, and I put them on a bookshelf in my sewing room, and now I can actually find patterns, which is a concept. And of course I still have stacks of fabric and other stuff lying around, bags of stuff. It's still quite a bit of a mess in there, but I'm on the path to making it actually, a livable space instead of a doable space. On the cosplay project side of things, I have actually finished a few things. I made the shirts for my Jack from Mary Poppins Returns cosplay and Aziraphale from Good Omens, so actually starting on both of those projects feels good. And I finished the embroidery for my Molly coat and painted the lining, and by the time this video gets posted, it's not done right now while I'm filming this, but by the time I post it, I should be done building my Molly Mock coat, which I've been working on for 2 years, so that's gonna feel really good. Hearing it back, 3 things finished doesn't really sound like a whole lot, but considering how much I actually got done last year in comparison, 3 things in 6 months is very impressive. I also have started actually working on a project that I have technically been working on for about 5 years, and that is The Winter Soldier. After watching the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, I was really motivated all of a sudden, and so I finally gave in and bought the jacket because making it was the thing holding me back for 5 years. So I finally bought it, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I should be able to finish with the main parts of that costume probably by the end of the year, because I really don't have to make all that much stuff. I just have to finish making the mask and then make some harnesses and belt stuff for holding weapons, and that's all I have to do. I say that's all I have to do. I totally forgot about the metal arm. Never mind, that's gonna hold me up a bit. It'll happen. It'll happen. Anyway, regardless of how much the metal arm holds me up as far as actually finishing it, the fact that I'm actually doing it and making progress, and I'm getting relatively close to actually having this be a costume I can wear after 5 years, it feels pretty, it makes me feel like I'm actually getting things done, because I haven't really finished anything in so long. So yeah, those are sort of the things that I've actually managed to get done so far this year. I am apparently being much more productive this year than I was last year, which is pretty great. I've been a little all over the place with the videos, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, but I'm gonna try and be a little more on top of it for the second half of this year. And as for the second half of 2021, well, to start off, once I finish my Molly coat, I'm going to be making a sort of medieval-ish gown for my mom, because we're going to Ren Fair in August. And then I'm just gonna keep chiseling away at the stack of fabric that I have for current projects. So some more Aziraphale work, Molly's pants finally, Yasha's cape. Trying to think of what's in that stack of fabric, there's so much. And I'm hoping that by the end of this year I can actually completely finish at least one cosplay, like the whole thing, not just a piece of it. Because so far I've only really been able to finish like a piece of something, and that's been a huge accomplishment. But I would love to actually completely finish something, at least one thing this year. And maybe this winter, when I make my 2022 cosplay list on Instagram, there will be certain characters that have been on that list for the last couple of years that will no longer be on there because they'll be done. One can hope. Now for the traditional end of video housekeeping. So our August game of the D&D game that I DM and that we stream will be on July 31st this month, because August wasn't looking so good for us, so we're just tacking it on there at the tail end of July. So keep an eye out on my social media for the info for that. You can find all of our Twitch channels of our streamers down below. And while I said I'm gonna try and be a little more up on the video schedule for the rest of the year, August might be a little shaky because I am going out of town for a bit, so not entirely sure whether we're still gonna be the every other week in August, but September onward, we will be good. And of course, as usual, all of my social medias and such are down in the description below, and I post my videos every other Wednesday as far as my brain allows, so see you next time!